Hey guys, King of Charmanders here. Today I'll judge your jury and your analyst. And today I bring to you a feature of a super meta team with Skarmory, Azu, and Umbreon. In a sense, this is also kind of a budget team because if you've been playing Go Battle League for a while, all three of these Pokemon are still freaking meta. Since the dawn of the preseason up until now, all three of these Pokemon are literally still really dang good for Great League. So if you use them and you power them up, you're probably going to have them for the long term. And like I mentioned, they're all super meta. So the only cruce of it, I would say, is the fact that Umbreon does have Last Resort. Last Resort Umbreon, or if you want to use Psychic, that's also another thing. But generally, you want to use Last Resort for... Yeah, generally want Last Resort for Johto Cup because if you have to hit a fighter with Psychic, you're pretty much dead. And not only that, you lose the mirror really hard. So this team also has Azu. Azu's still really freaking good, despite the fact there are a bazillion counters to Azu in the Johto Cup. The mere fact that it has such great coverage, as in like Ice Beam and Play Rough, makes it incredibly powerful and really versatile and strong for this cup. For this one, I'm using Play Rough Ice Beam. You can use Hydro Pump, but honestly, there's no real point in it. Because with Ice Beam, it does give you the chance to take out Jumpluff, and it also gives you a chance to hit Meganium and Hail Mary Meganium if by chance Meganium has enough chip damage, and Ice Beam will KO. So this team is super meta, and like I mentioned, with super meta comes great non-strategy, and nothing will ever like Azu is just freaking broken. That's really it, and it's expensive. But anyways, again, this features a super meta team of Skarmory, Azu, Stay Switch, and Umbreon. Both Azu and Umbreon can function as Stay Switch for this cup, so it's really just up to you. Generally, Azu, if you're used to it, you can just Stay Switch on Azu. But again, it's really up to you. If Azu can somehow take back Switch, or Umbreon, Skarmory locks into the Grass type, you have a great chance of coming out with a win condition. So, speaking of meta, for my mental health tip of the day, for the meta, there is a lot of mental health tips that are generally meta, but this is the one I personally like the most. This is actually from mentalhealth.org UK, so this is from the UK's Mental Health Foundation of the United Kingdom, and this one is okay, so the reason I'm kind of like stuttering is because there's this quote. This quote says, "Being happy with who I am now means I enjoy living in the moment." This is basically called mindfulness. So mindfulness is staying in the present and the future, or not really, not the future, the present. So basically living for today and living for tomorrow, because there's a lot of things we don't have control over life. Seriously, we don't have a control over a lot of things. The only thing you can really control as far as the day goes and being the now is the present and basically tomorrow. So be proud of who you are, recognize and accept what you're not good at, but focus on what you can do well. Even if you can't do well at something right now, obviously if you do practice and you train for it, like for Pokemon Go PvP, because there's not a huge ceiling for it, trust me, if you are a legend or even veteran or expert, you can beat legend or leaderboard players. And between legend and leaderboard players, there's really not much of a titanical difference. If there was such a huge difference, why do leaderboard players still lose against people that are veteran and... No, seriously. Leaderboard players can still lose against veterans. You can still lose against people that are below ace. And you can still get hard countered. So there really is no difference between leaderboard players or legends. All legends can kill each other. And even experts / veterans, you guys can kill us too. You can beat the King of Charmanders. You can beat the #1 leaderboard player. I beat him multiple #1 leaderboard players. And the last time I played one, I was like, I literally smacked the unholy crap. They're like, you're not going to blast burn my Skarmory with your Charizard? No, I blast burned you. You weren't a challenge. You were trash. No, I'm just kidding. They weren't trash. It was a good battle, but like, seriously, like, you see what I'm talking about? It really doesn't matter. Work out if there's anything about yourself you still want to change. Are your expectations realistic? If they are, work towards the change in small steps. So take small steps towards those changes and live in the moment. Those are my 2 mental health tips for the day from, again, mentalhealth.org, United Kingdom. Practice those every day like the King of Charmanders does, and you will chill and vibe your way positively through the day, and you won't really care about what's going on, because really the only thing you can control is the now and probably things that are going on tomorrow. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the Shoutcast. Again, this features a super meta team of Skarmory, Azumarill, and Umbreon. Let's get started. Alright, so here are the battles. This super meta team is nuts because the amount of legends I freaking play are ridiculous, and how this team does well. We got Skarmory on Skarmory action. So there's a way you could there's two ways you could play out this mirror. One, you could try to get the extra sky attacks through, or, well, not sky attacks. You could try to get the extra air slashes. In other words, try to time it so they fire first. As you see here, I'm able to get the extra one through. Then you just straight sky attack to victory. If you eat the burb, you get hit by the suburban. It's what it is. But as you see here, I go for the suburban. This is a mistake. I should have just went for the sky attack. So I hit the burb. Burb goes through, and then after that, I swap into Umbreon. So the idea here is that, alright, you know what? I swap into Umbreon as a safe switch. I should have just went straight sky attack. And as you see, they go for the burb. So I can expect to switch out, and they switch out into Meganium, which is actually what I want. Now that we got out of Meganium, we can line up Meganium with Skarmory. And then the thing is, with that little bit of extra energy with Foul Play, it's still going to take 2 Frenzy Plants to kill my Umbreon. So I'm not going to shield anything here. I'm just going to let Umbreon go. Or, with that little energy lead, I might be able to come out with a W. So, we're just going to straight Foul Play. We play Foul, you know? Exactly. This is such a you know, Foul Play is such a bad name. In all honesty, as you see here, I should be able to live one more Frenzy Plant and get to a Foul Play. So this Frenzy Plant will go off, but this shouldn't KO Umbreon just because I have a pretty high IV1. And at the same time, Umbreon's defense is ridiculous. As you see here, my thickness, and with my well, that's not 1 HP in a dream, but pretty dang close. We're able to hit the Foul Play off. This should KO unless they decide to shield, and then we win back alignment. So now I have an Umbreon into my Azumarill. And as you see here, I just swap out because I'm like, alright, you know what? I have the idea here. I should have hit Ice Beam. Don't ask me why I play rough, okay? I was like, why did I play rough? Why? And they end up shielding anyway, so my brain is like, why? Why did I do this? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to shield this, and I'm going to farm down completely. We should be able to lock in this Skarmory, the Umbreon in the back with my Azumarill. And then because I have play rough, I have a super strong matchup against the Umbreon in the back, and that should be GG's. Even with a shield up, Umbreon's got to deal with my Azumarill. This should take a shield or do heavy damage. Now, as you see, it does. We take the final shield, and then with play rough against this Umbreon, we have play rough, so then we're vibing. Even if they do take out Azumarill, you still have a Skarmory to contend with, and 2 play roughs will put you down in the near kill range, and then I should just be able to sky attack or air slash down for the W. As you see, play rough goes off, and then we're gonna do big damage here, almost half of Umbreon's HP. So, as you see, my opponent just stopped attacking because, you know what, it's almost useless. So, it's just like, you know what, why is this guy doing? So, I'm just going to bubble down. He tries to attack again, and then he should quit out very shortly. GG's. Whew. That was, I kind of misplayed that pretty hard. I shouldn't have swapped out of, but it worked out. It worked out. You know what, you get a dub's a dub, I'm just saying. And now we get another freaking legend. I'm like, oh, dang, it's sweaty up in these parts, okay. We either face legends or former legends. The good thing is we win the lead. We got Jumpluff into Skarmory. And we get a Magcargo. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send an Azu, and all we're going to do is we're going to Ice Beam once, and then we're going to farm down for the W. Literal farm down. Because Fire and Rock is double weak to Water. And that Stone Edge did a lot more damage than I thought. I was like, oh, holy crap. That does a lot more than I thought it would. Okay, so then as you see here, Ice Beam is going to go off. They won't shield, of course. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to shield the next move because I don't want to get KO'd. Stone Edge will get near the KO range, but at the same time, I have a bunny with energy. And our goal is to just lock in Jumpluff against our Skarmory. So as you see here, we have Ice Beam anyway, so we should be able to hit that Jumpluff for super effective damage. Or we get to see what our opponent's second mon is. And sure enough, the acrobatic pom-pom triple hair cheerleading floating thingy comes out in the air. And because it's a shadow, Ice Beam is going to do big damage to the side shield. Hopefully we get to a second one, and we do. This is going to do big damage, and then either way, we should be able to get Skarmory onto this Jumpluff. And they elect to pop both shields. So my brain is like, why would you pop both shields, sir? I'm going to try to fire another one, but they elect to swap out, and I swap into Umbreon. Catted just in time, and then with Foul Play and an extra shield, we should just be vibing really hard. We got Skarmory for the Jumpluff, and these Foul Plays will go off and should be able to chunk away at this Umbreon. I mean, at this freaking Lanturn, unless Go Battle Lag decides to take my soul. As you see here, error 69. is just hit my freaking screen. And that did 0 damage. And I was like, are you freaking serious? I was like, what? Are you serious? Bro. Really, bro? It's kind of funny because they said they're trying to fix Go Battle League at this point, so that Worlds isn't thing. But, like, it seems like things are just getting worse. Niantic is, like... If you ever watch Retsuko, it's, like, a really, really cool, like... It's really, like, hilarious freaking... Netflix anime that, I mean, it's a Netflix-based anime that is really hilarious, and it's like real-life Japanese where they like outwork you, so it really digs into Japanese culture. And in Retsuko, it's freaking hilarious because in Retsuko, you work for an evil company where like nothing really works, and then they just pile work onto the main protagonist, which is like right now. They're just piling on they just piled on all the lag, and as you see there, my opponent is able to switch out catch move, which doesn't really matter anyways, because I'm just getting all these acrobats, but I don't even care. All I'm gonna do is just farm down this freaking Jumpluff, and I'm gonna end your freaking life in the back row with a burb. I'm gonna hit you with a Suburban. And why does acrobats do so much damage? I get this is a Shadow Jumpluff, but come on, man, look at that damage. Look at that damage range from freaking acrobats. So I just farm down. Let me Brave Bird for the victory. That's GG's. Freaking hell, man. And if this doesn't, by some godforsaken thing, this doesn't KO, I have an Ice Beam queued on freaking Azumarill just for the last amount of chip damage. So as you see here, this is going to go off. We don't get to a second one because we actually hit them on CMP. They fire the Thunderbolt, and then all we're going to do is going to send in a Azumarill, and then we should just get one bubble away from Play Rough, and then that's GG's. Oh my god, this would be over already had I not lagged on my Umbreon. But you know, it's okay. It's what it is. We still won because, you know, we had a really good counter to like everything they had. It was RPS. And that's GG's. So, yeah. Freaking Go Battle Lag. Freaking... My toaster works better than Go Battle League. No, seriously, it does. I can expect perfectly toasted buns. And now we got Parsi 699999. I love that name, by the way. So, the third legend in the row, and we lose the lead. I'm like, ah, crap, it's a Lanturn. Oh, better swap. So we swap into Umbreon, and it happens to be a Water Gun Lanturn. I'm like, ooh, there's win conditions. Because we can line up Azumarill against this Lanturn, and because we got Play Rough, we can make something happen. They swap into Skarmory, and I'm like, okay. So all we're gonna do is straight foul play to victory, and my brain, I'm kind of scratching my head, because I'm like, well, it makes sense, because they know I have Skarmory, so might as well preserve the Lanturn. Even though if it does have Water Gun, Thunderbolt still hits a lot, and Lanturn does resist everything that Skarmory has to throw on it, so it's not the bad move. Get rid of the Skarmory now, no reason to keep it, because we do have their Lanturn does have that Skarmory to line up against it, unless they decide to give a switch. As you see, they hit Sky Attack. So my brain is like, okay, what do we do here? So I can line up ultimately what I have to do is I'm gonna have to line up that Water Gun Lanturn along with my Azumarill. And because Azumarill is beastly, all we're gonna have to do is just shield everything. As you see here, I'm just gonna let it go. I should be able, if this is Sky Attack, this won't kill, and then I should be able to start off for a victory. I win alignment, however, the freaking Lanturn, yes. As you see here, because Water Gun, we don't manage to get to another move, which really sucks. So I send in a Azumarill, and as you see here, we're just resisting these Water Guns up to oblivion, so I don't have to do anything. I'm vibing. We're vibing really hard right now. Thunderbolt goes off. I can eat one Thunderbolt, actually, so all I'm doing here is I'm just trying to time everything correctly so that hopefully I can get some extra bubbles through, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to fire Play Rough, and then my game plan here is hopefully I'm able to break away all these shields. And remember I told you I was trying to get a bubble through? We get the bubble through here. So as you see, Thunderbolt goes off. We still live, which is great. And I should be able to get one more Play Rough through. So Play Rough goes off, and then we should be able to grab this last shield. But my opponent makes this really sweet sack into, or catches it on a Jumpluff. And I'm like, wait a minute. This is great. Because I can send in Skarmory, and all I have to do is farm you down. I literally just have to farm this thing down, and then I have a bazillion energy to throw at that Lanturn in the back. Acrobats does heavy damage, and that's also Shiny. Shiny is in fact doing no damage, but as you see here, all I'm going to do is commit to the full farm down. If I farm this down completely, I should be able to get to enough energy to where I could probably triple Sky Attack, or I'll have enough, yeah, like my literal win condition is like triple Sky Attacking. Because we're going to have to break that one shield, and then as you see here, we're going over a bazillion energy, but that's perfectly fine. Because then all we're going to do is we're going to throw all this energy at this Lanturn in the back. I'm throwing Sky Attack first to bait the shield. Hopefully we grab the shield, and we do, and then I should be able to hit the Brave Bird. Here's the Brave Bird right here, and then I can send in Azumarill to do some chip damage, or we're basically just sacrificing Azumarill to the gods. As you see, Brave Bird goes off, We send in the Azu, and all we're going to do is bubble down. And our opponent quits out early because they know it's game over, and that's GG's. As you see here, it would have been, all we had to do is just get to a play rough or just get to an ice beam. They'd have to blow their energy, and then we can just farm down for the victory with Sky Attack. Even though it's resisted, that Lanturn's so hurt that it doesn't really matter. Next up, we got the Pokemon #1 Pokemon Thug. We get Hitmontop into Skarmory, which is a great matchup for us, actually. So I'm, like, vibing pretty hard right now. I'm like, oh, yes, this is great. So, get Sky Attack off. We're going to fire against this Hitmontop, and hopefully we can grab a shield. And I have no idea why they're switching out. So, I guess their plan is to double up on close combat on their Hitmontop, and then try to come out with a dub, which is the standard moveset. As you see here, we get that Air Slash go through, which is great. We get that extra one through. This is probably CC, so we're going to shield here, and then that extra Air Slash will go through and do big damage, as you see here. They'll get to another move. This is probably a Stone Edge, but that's okay. I want a double shield anyways. And then I should be able to farm down this Hitmontop. I have a bazillion energy to keep on my Skarmory, so I swap into Umbreon. Yes, I have 0 shields, but I want to do enough chip damage to where I could possibly farm down this Skarmory and get some extra energy in. Plus, we have a Skarmory with a bazillion energy, which is great anyways. Hitmontop is almost dead, so it's not a huge threat to our lineup right now. As you see here, all we're going to do is straight foul play. Foul play to victory. We're going to foul play as much as we possibly can. Do as much chip as we can on this Skarmory. Skarmory's going to go down. 1, 2, 3. We're going to hit all these foul plays. The power of darkness, you know, like Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is freaking amazing, by the way. Why is it going to take another freaking year for you to, dude, it's going to take forever Demon Slayer to get finished at this rate. Like, bro, can you give us the next arc, please? Like, for real, though. Like, every episode was amazing. The animation was freaking luscious. So I'm not complaining, but still, man. As the Brave Bird goes off, we fire the foul play, and I'm wondering, are you going to shield this or are you going to let it go? Ideally, the smart thing would be to let it go. Our opponent lets it go, and then now our opponent has a Hitmontop and something in the back. So as you see, I'm frantically tapping onto Azumarill because I have a bazillion energy on my Skarmory anyways. We get a Politoed, which is kind of terrible, actually. So as you see, we're going to fire player if this should bait a shield. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to be really careful. What I'm opting to do is that I want to Brave Bird the crap out of this freaking Politoed. And then I have to be careful because my opponent still has Hitmontop and I don't want them to sack on me. Earthquake goes off, and then what we're going to do here is that we're just going to fire another play rough. And then this should do big damage unless this is an Earthquake and this should kill. But that's okay. So as you see here, Earthquake goes through. That's perfectly fine. We still have a burp for our Skarmory. I'm waiting the timer out a little bit. I'm going to send in Skarmory, and then I'm going to try to time the interval right so they don't hit the burb. As you see, I go over 1, and then I fire Brave Bird. This should KO, and then all we have to do is Air Slash down for the W. Brave Bird goes off, Air Slash down, fast move down the freaking Hitmontop in the back, and that's GG's. Whew! A lot sweeter than I thought, and I was like, oh, wow, that actually worked out. So, yeah, this super meta does actually work really freaking well in the Johto Cup. No surprise, really. It's super freaking meta, right? If it's super meta, it's probably going to do well. Next, we got Legend on Legend action. We got Skarmory into Raikou. So I lose the lead hard as heck. And the way I find this win condition, my brain is like, how the hell did I figure this out? So as you see, I switch into Umbreon, and all we're going to do here is we're going to fire the foul play, but I fire on the wrong interval, so they managed to get a move through. It's terrible. Fly Blade goes through, and I'm like, ah, crap. I should have fired on the Wild Charge, but that's perfectly fine. What's happening here is I'm going to eat this one. It's definitely going to be a Wild Charge, but it's okay. But as you see here, it's going to do more than half of freaking Umbreon's damage because it's so bulky. And we get Mad Cargo. And I'm like, oh, there's something I can do here. I'm going to fire the foul play off, do as much chip as I can. Then I'm going to send in Azu, and I'm going to try to freaking beat the unholy crap out of this poor little Mad Cargo. As you see, Mad Cargo, I'm trying to time it, and they happen to get to a move, which is perfectly fine. So over here, or Stone Edge, probably Stone Edge. This will probably kill me, and that's perfectly fine. I'm going to send in Azumarill, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to farm down Mad Cargo. With all the energy I have from Mad Cargo, I should be able to fire it at that Raikou, or I can make something happen. So as you see here, Stone Edge does go off. That's perfectly fine, because Azu is rank 1, or Azu is just super broken and thick in general. We're able to do the full farm down like I mentioned. Raikou should come in, and then we're going to have to, we're literally just going to play rough down these shields. We need to break as many shields as we possibly can. And instead they got Jumpluff, and that's even better. So I'm like, oh, wait, I have an idea. So as you see here, Ice Beam goes off, and that actually hits the Jumpluff for damage. And I'm going to send in Skarmory, and you're like, what the heck, King of Torments? Why would you send it in and get locked in? Here's my game plan. All I'm going to do is I'm going to farm down this Raikou, and then I'm going to triple Sky Attack that Jumpluff in the back. I'm gonna have to expend both shields anyways. Jumpluff, the thing is, I resist all of its attacks. So as long as I come out of here with 100 energy, I should be okay. And I'm gonna get to triple sky attack, and I should be able to KO that Jumpluff in the back for the W. As you see here, they fire another wild charge, but that's perfectly fine. And as you see here, all I'm going to do is I'm just literally going to wave fire all of these sky attacks and throw all this energy at this Jumpluff. I should be able to break both shields here and get to the third move. Because they didn't shield that Ice Beam, what's going to be great here is that I should be able to get to 3 as you see here. 1, 2, 3. And when that chip damage for the Ice Beam, like I mentioned, that should be GG's. I'm able to get to a sky attack. I'm going to fire through. This team is ridiculously powerful. I just lost the league twice against electric types, and I still came out with a W. Because this is a super meta Open Great League team in the Johto Cup. Why are these things so overpowered? I don't know. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed the battle. Super meta in Open Great League still works in the Johto Cup. And that's GG's. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, if you invest in these Pokemon, it's very likely for long term, all 3 of these Pokemon will be used a lot. For example, in Skarmory, I think, what was it? The Flying Cup or whatever? Yeah, that thing, Skarmory was used in that cup. For Azumarill, you have the Halloween Cup. It was used for that a lot. And now for the Johto Cup. For Umbreon, again, the Halloween Cup as well as the Johto Cup. There's multiple different special cups that these Pokemon have been featured in and will probably be featured in the future. So, that being said, again, if you really think about it, invest in these mons. They're really long-term mons, and you probably already have these already, since they're, like I said, again, they're like super meta. So super meta team still works out, all because these mons are still really, really freaking bulky, really strong overall, and of course, all of them have really great freaking moves. The meta is here for a reason. They're really freaking strong, they're really powerful, and as someone that's broken a meta before, you can break them, but not in the Johto Cup. They're still freaking rated super high, ranked super high for a good reason. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the Shoutcast. If you do me a huge favor, you see next to these 2 little lizards right here, there's a little sub box at the bottom right. If you push your mouse over it, you can easily subscribe. Liking and subscribing is totally free and really helps out the channel. Really appreciate my current subscribers. I love my community. I love you guys. Thank you so much for all your support. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see you guys on the next video.